Hello everybody and welcome to episode 0 of Cities Skylines. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I think you're going to enjoy this quite a bit. If you are new to Cities Skylines, just know that this game has had a pretty big impact on my Minecraft series and the way that I play that game. So I think you're going to enjoy this. You've got something really cool in store for you. Now, why is this episode 0? Well, you're about to find out. This episode, I thought we would go into some of the mods that I'm using to start out on the game, as well as creating a custom map. And we're going to do it quick, fast, and in a hurry so that you can create a custom map of your own city or literally any place in the world. I think it's going to be pretty cool indeed. So let's go to our content manager and just briefly go over some of the things that we're using and maybe why we're using these in this particular playthrough. Mainly because I am a very detail-oriented person, as you know from probably my other creative series like Minecraft. I really like to get into the details, and so this is an amazingly detailed game. However, there are a lot of amazing mods out there that make it even better. So one thing we're going to do is we're going to make everything purchasable if my computer can handle it. We'll see. So far it seems to be standing up pretty good, surprisingly, for a dinosaur that it is, but we're going to make it everything purchasable. Usually you can only purchase 9 tiles. You'll understand what that means once we jump into it if you're new to the game. Secondly, we're going to automatically bulldoze everything. We're going to enable that because I remember playing this before. It was kind of a pain to go around and bulldoze all your buildings. And so that just kind of makes life a little bit easier. I've got some different sound effects to make it more North American, which is going to be strange based on the map that we play here in a minute, you'll see. But that's what I'm used to, so that's what I want to do. A lot of this stuff is probably not going to make a whole lot of sense until we dig into it. So maybe we won't go into the details of all that right now. We may go into the details of these mods as we come across them in the game. But I might also, if I remember, leave a link to all of these in the description of the video. Check that out down below, but you can pause at any point and kind of see the things that I'm using here if you want to play along. So let's jump into the main point of this video. The main point, like I said, is to create a really cool custom map quick, fast, and in a hurry without spending a whole lot of intricate detailed time creating these intricate details. So let's do that. Let's get out of here. Let's go into, I believe it is options. No, it's not at all options. What am I thinking? It, of course, is editors. We're going to create a new map editor and we'll just keep it on template and create. That's the first step. That's easy enough. Now is where it gets a little bit tricky. It's where we get a little bit custom. Follow me into a new screen. We're going to go to a website called terrain.party. And what I have done here is I have, since my name is Spartan Overdrive, let's stick with that theme. Let's go ahead and pick a place on the map, the real world. So in the history of the world, Sparta was somewhere around this city here, a name of which I cannot pronounce and I'm not even going to try because it'll be highly offensive. But because it's over here landlocked, I want to have a little bit of water. I'm going to move my square over here. Now, when you log into this this website, this little square is going to be up here somewhere in this area, I believe it was, in Sweden maybe? I can't remember where it was. It might have been in Norway. But you just got to drag it around the map where you want it to go. Zoom in. And also it's a lot smaller. So what I've done is I have increased it to the maximum limit, which it looks like it's going to be 16 kilometers, or 60. I don't know if that's per square or total. I'm not sure. I don't know what my measurements are here, but anyways, so the thing to keep in mind here, something I made a little bit of a mistake earlier. I tried to pull up the map of New Orleans and had a horrible time because the sea level is so low. So first of all, keep in mind your terrain. So let's take a look at that topographic imagery. If we look at that, then we're going to see absolutely nothing over here for some reason. It must not have that for this area of the world. Absolutely nothing here as well. Oh, this could be bad news. This may not work for us, guys. Well, it's quite possible that this map doesn't have a topographical imagery of this area. So I guess only one way to find out. We may have to move our city somewhere else. If we do, I'll do that and come back with you. But let me show you how to do this first of all. Take note that these squares in the middle are a little bit darker. Those are the 25 playable squares. These around the outside, I guess, are just for decoration. So if you want to play if you want to have tiles that that are playable here with this water, then you need to make sure these dark squares are over it. If it were here, then the last playable tile would be here. You wouldn't actually be able to play out here in the marina. So that's why I've got it moved down there. We're going to be able to play in this area right here when it's all said and done. So now that I've got my area selected, all I need to do is export this bad boy right here. And we're just going to call it Sparta, even though that may not be 100% accurate. All right, now I've already created a folder to place this in. I'm just going to go up here to Cities Skylines, and there's my failed New Orleans one. Let's go ahead and make a Sparta folder. Not 100% necessary, but just kind of helps keep things organized. We're going to save it in there, and once that is saved, let's open in folder. The next step, all we have to do is extract the files, and we're going to extract them right here. And now we no longer need this, so let's delete it. Now is the time we find out whether or not we have, okay, good. We do have high imagery here. So basically all you got to do is go find the map that looks the best to you. The more of a contrast in color there's going to be, the more of a contrast in the height. Basically, the whiter it is, the taller that area is going to be. And that one's really blurred apparently. But the whiter it is, the higher from sea level it is, and the darker it is, the closer to sea level it's going to be. So we're gonna, all of these are pretty much the same. I will just pick, I suppose, the first one. Actually, let's pick the second one. It says it's merged. That sounds like a good thing to me. So the place where we want to save this thing is a little bit tricky. I'm gonna walk you through how to get there if I hopefully remember. Let's drag a new one of these on the screen if my computer will let me. Come on now, come to the right screen, please. All right, so go to your PC, and then you're gonna go to local disk, of course. Then you're gonna find users. You're going to go to your username. And then here's the thing that is a little bit tricky. Do you see this app data? That may not show up for you. See how it's a little bit of a lighter color? If that doesn't show up for you, what you need to do is go to your view tab, which I've already gotten, and then you need to make sure this hidden item is checked. As long as that is checked, you should be able to see this, and then you can continue on. But we're going to go into app data. We're going to go to local, and then we are going to find Colossal Order, which is the publishing company for Cities Skylines. Open that. We're going to go into add-ons. From add-ons, now we're going to go into map editor, and that's the place that we're going to save it in, height maps. So now all we got to do, you can see my old one there already in it that I tried earlier and failed miserably at. Let's go ahead and merge this one over. And you can see why New Orleans failed, because it's all one solid black color. There's actually some very, very minor differences in there that changes the height, but it's so close to the same height level that when you try to put water, it just floods, goes everywhere. Bad news. So you want to make sure there's some differences in the white and the black. It's not all one color. All right, so now that we're in here, we can jump back in the game, and we are back in the map editor. Let's just go ahead and position ourselves way up above so we can get a nice view of what happens here in a moment. We're going to go down here to terrain. Right next to her is a import height map option. So we're going to click that, and there we go. It's already selected. If you have a few of them, you just need to select which one. And so we're going to go with Sparta, obviously, and click import. And shabam, there we go. We have a completely custom, unique map at the click of a mouse. Pretty nice. Now, as you can see, like I pointed out a minute ago, the only playable area is this area right here. You can't actually play out here. So of course, there's a few more things that I want to do, and that is going to be add water. So let's see what that's all about. All right, now what I want to do is I want to actually pull up the original map. I'm going to try something with you guys for the first time. It may completely ruin our map here. I really hope not, but let's pull up this original map back on the screen for you guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this here on another screen, and I'm going to follow this water path. The blue marks a river here, and I want to try to put that in the map if I can. And keep in mind that water always flows downhill. So I'm going to be looking at that. You can do the same thing with your map. We'll see if this works. We'll try it out together. Let's resume game, and I'm going to hit the spacebar to pause the gameplay so that the water doesn't start flowing before I'm ready for it. So looking at the map on my other screen, trying to find where the rivers are is not as easy as it looks. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start out here, and I'm going to trace what should be a river up this way just to see if this works. We're going to find out together if we can get this river to start up here in the mountains and see what happens. This may be, like I said, this may be devastating, but we can start over since we just started. I'm going to place my water source right here, and then you can kind of see where it's going to spill into, I believe is what that's showing. And I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag down and I'm going to make it as small as I can so that hopefully it impacts only the river valley that it's supposed to be flowing in. So one way to find out, let's go ahead and hit the space button to play. We're going to speed up the time and we're going to watch it flow. Let's go into another mode here. Let's hit escape so we can see actual water flowing. That looks pretty cool. So this might be an issue here. I don't know where that's going to go, but this could actually be very cool. So as you can see, it's starting to backflow this direction. I think what's happening here with the physics is that it's just so much water gushing, it's forcing its way backwards. I believe it will eventually flow back down in this direction. I could be wrong, but this actually is working out pretty nicely. I kind of dig it. Oh no, this is what's happening as well. Okay, this is something I kind of forgot about. When you place your first water source, it automatically places water at the edge of the map. And as you can see, it's already going, it's overflowing what it should. This should be the coastline right here. So it's overstepping its bounds already, and that might be because I placed this a little too high. Maybe we should have placed some water down here first, and then we could place a secondary source up there, and that might have worked. We may have to try that and see, but this actually looks good in here. It's just a little too much right here. Although we may leave it. This doesn't have to be exactly true to life. This is actually going to be pretty cool. The only problem is it's really not going to leave us a lot of great ground to work in. In fact, this terrain is pretty steep, so it might create a bit of a challenge for us. All right, we've already made it this far. Let's go ahead and try putting another water source up here just to see what this is like. Yeah, this here looks really nice to me. I'm digging that a lot. In fact, all of this looks really good to me. Like I said, the only problem is we're not going to have anywhere to build. It's actually taking up all of our flat land right now. Okay, so we have nearly ruined our map now. We have the waterway all the way up here through the entire playable area, which is really fine. But I want to be able to play more on this flat ground down here. So I'm going to attempt to salvage it by raising this land here. We'll see if that's possible or not. Okay, so it isn't, I guess, 100% true to the original map, but I think we've got something that's going to be pretty playable. We've got a lot of flat space to play on and a few other fun things to test our building skills out here on some more aggressive terrain. So I think we got something that looks pretty nice, and even this bay here that was meant to be there. Of course, the water mechanics and stuff are still kind of working themselves out. That'll fix itself once it's all said and done. I can go back and touch up a few things here and there if I need to. But that is pretty much it. Now we can, of course, go through and add our resources and all of these kinds of things, maybe a few highways and stuff. And I may go through and do some of that stuff based on real life maps, but I may not as well. We'll see what we end up with once it's said and done. But we're just basically setting up the main structure for our actual gameplay. So like I said, we'll set up a couple interstates to connect through, just to give ourselves connection to the outside world. Maybe some farmland or delta around here might make sense. I don't know if we'll put oil and stuff like that in the ground or not. I've got to make that decision, but that's pretty much it, guys. addition to actually making the custom map itself, we needed to go in and add all of our transportation networks. We have to connect them to the outside world. So we've got a road connected there. We've got one here, and then another one goes through this tunnel up here. And one of the mods, what's going on with it? I don't know, but one of them's been giving me some problems. It's forcing me to use only tunnels or only land roads, only bridges, whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. I have to, I think I have to figure that one out at another time. If you guys have been playing this more than me, and you have some tips or tricks for me, I'd love to hear them. I will assuredly find some for you along the way as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping into this thing. We will be, all we got to do now is pick our starting tile. And as soon as we do that, we can save the thing and we are good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first little episode 0. I think the city building is going to be even more fun. We will jump into that next episode. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you got something out of it, leave me a comment. And if you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe button, of course. The bell as well so you don't miss a thing. Until next time, keep it creative.